Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Tarnisha Moe Sass, your host of Self Love Sunday. I am your Vision Strategist Coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which we can better our best. And let's listen. How are we in July, y'all? Time is flying by. Before we know it, December will be here. And I know you don't hear it. And the reason why I'm thinking about that, right, is because it's like a Christmas in July thing that they do here. So I'm like, Christmas in July, I don't even want to think about Christmas. And the truth of the matter is, we have to think about it because time is essentially flying. But I wanted to come and talk to you guys today because I also realized that we are in an election year. And I don't know about you, but everything, the energy, everything just feels like chaotic, right? In this ever changing world. And so it's more important, more than ever, to lean in loving on yourself more than now. And because we're constantly bombarded with negativity, stress, and the pressure of not just being perfect, but who to vote for and what side of the coin to be on depending upon what is happening in the news, who needs to be canceled this week. And so it's just a lot. And so from social media comparisons to the endless demands on our work and family, like so many women I know are feeling the pressure, feeling burnt out, stressed out, how to make the family run. And I know there's men as well, how to make the family run, how to bring more money into the business because finances seem to be a big thing all over the world because media is constantly pushing it. And it's so interesting when media pushes the narrative of, the economy being so essentially bad. The very first thing that people stop doing is taking care of themselves. It's just the truth. When media pushes the message of the economy and everything, so there's no money, there's no this. And I'm not saying that people aren't feeling the pressure because, hey, I'm human and I'm feeling the pressure. I work in corporate America as well as um, have my own business, so I get it. But what I'm saying is, with a narrative of being shoved down your throat, people don't realize that what you listen to on a consistent basis is what drives you, is what drives your fears, it's what drives the stress and the pressure of I'm not going to make it or it's never enough. And it starts to, create that feeling of overwhelm. And then we lose sight of who we truly are in the midst of all of that. It's so interesting because having a coaching business and talking to other coaches, the one thing that I do notice is the very first thing that goes out the window, for most humans, is working on their personal self-development and loving themselves, and whatever that activity look like, right? Because some of those things do cost money. So when I think about, one of the ways I love myself, I love to take myself on a vacation and go to the beach, by myself. A lot of people are foregoing vacations, not realizing that they need a break. And maybe that break may have to look like a staycation now. However, you need the break. This consistent hustle, 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 grind, 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 work myself into the ground. Guess what you're going to do? Work yourself into the ground. And so, I started this channel essentially because I didn't love myself. And I wanted to discover new things and new ways about me, just in this journey. And I wanted to share it. And so I'm like, you know what? It's time to get back to the fundamental basis of coming to talk to you guys about, loving yourself, taking time out for you. And I get it. I had 6 kids. I understand their schedules. I understand being busy. I also understand how to set my schedule and how to help you set your schedule in such a way that you still get in your you time. You still get in your meditation. You still get in your workout. You still get in your breathing because all of that is a part of I love myself enough to take time out just to breathe. I love myself enough to take a half a day off and just relax and do nothing, right? And so when we neglect our self love, it shows up. It manifests in so many different ways. People think like, when I become stressed out and I become burnt out, I just isolate. It's only going to affect me. But that's not necessarily true. You start this, oh, I feel like I don't belong. And guess what ends up happening? Eventually, you start to do people please and you start to want to buy love. You start to say yes when you want to say no. And then your relationships suffer. I want you to understand that when they say that you can only love someone else at the capacity of which you love yourself, it's a very, very true statement. If you're not taking care of yourself and you're feeling all sorts of stress and anxiety, you unintentionally, because I don't believe anybody intentionally does this, you pass it on to your friends and your partners, even in forms of energy. Let me tell you something. I had someone, and I'll share it with you guys. I had someone contact me out of the blue. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Good friend of mine, and instantly, I knew he wasn't showing back up in my life because he wanted to know how I was doing or he wanted to, see anything about my life. It was all about him and what he was going through. And I'm sure on the other end of that, he had no idea that his energy presented itself a way that it was frantic and flustered and all over the place. And I get it, right? I am the girl that, because not just because I was a coach, because I've always been this way that people call. I understand that. And here's what I'm going to say: there is something to helping you guys understand. Sometimes your energy meets someone even from a text message, and you don't even know it. You think you're just showing up in a certain way. And here's the thing: I'll use me. I was talking to my good girlfriend, who she is absolutely phenomenal. I love her to death. We talk because we're both have busy schedules. We schedule to talk once a month regardless, and if we get to talk in between, it's great. And she said, she said, when we first started this call, you felt heavy. So even me sometimes, I don't know. I was like, wow, I was feeling some things on the inside that I wasn't even going to express to her, because I'm a friend who doesn't like to dump on my friends. And it's so interesting that she felt my energy anyway. And so, I'm going to say all this to say that sometimes your energy meets people and you don't even know it. You think like, no, no, I'm not going to, let anybody in on what's going on. You don't have to. Your energy does. I'm just going to tell you right now, your energy is like, girl, it's not the truth. This is a mask. It's not real. I don't care how much you pop, lock, and drop it, doing all the little TikTok dances. Your energy really tells what's going on, especially if you're talking to someone who is aware, right? Aware of energies, aware of how people show up and think and feel. And I'm one of those people. So what happens is, why is this happening? Is it because we lose, when we're not loving on ourselves and caring for ourselves, we lose a sense of our identity and we start operating out of guilt rather than love. And I'm telling you guys, this is a vicious cycle that has to stop today. If you have been putting yourself on the back burner, if you're not in your personal development, if you're not in your therapy, if you're not taking time out for yourself today, right now, I need you to stop. And what's so interesting too? You also think that you're helping your friends when you show up like that. You think, I'm going to be there for them and I'm going to do this. The truth of the matter is, you end up resenting your friendships a lot of times. You end up resenting your relationship because you're doing a bunch of things where you want to say no, and you're doing it. Oh, you say you're doing it out of love, but the truth of the matter is, somehow, somewhere, you feel like it's a sense of responsibility, like I have to be the one. No, you don't. No, you don't. Absolutely, you don't. And this is not a selfish thing. It's selfless. Now, here's when it gets selfish. It gets selfish when you show up in that, I love me and you just accept me for who I am, and you want, like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. It is okay to love yourself and grow into the man or woman that you are supposed to grow into. It's not just take me and all my mess. No, ma'am. No, sir. That's not it either. It's yes, I love myself. It's yes and. Yes and. Right? I love myself for who I have grown to be, and I love myself for where I'm going. And what that means is, I'm consistently working on becoming the best version of myself daily. I am a 1% increment person. That means just getting better 1%. 1% each day. That could look like reading a book. That could look like me sitting down taking inventory of how I'm really feeling before I go have a conversation with someone. That could look like me saying, you know what, today I just want to have fun. I don't want to talk about anything heavy. It could look like me, and I'm big on this. I know one of my friends actually laughs at me, but I'm big on turning on a cartoon movie. I love Kung Fu Panda. So what? Right? I love In and Out 1 and 2. They say they make those movies for children, but here's what I'll tell you. As an adult, the reason why I watch it is because they make it for my inner child. Okay. But that could look like me doing that. That could look like sitting on, I have a deck. I sit outside on my deck and just stare into the clouds and just let the sun beat down on me. Right? There's so many different things that you can do just to take a time out and a second for yourself. And I know you want to be the best mom, and I know you want to be the best girlfriend or wife or husband. And you cannot be that until you are that for yourself. It's just the truth. And so, you know, you can actually like here's the game changer. Okay, you can create a vision strategy, and this isn't about just setting goals. It's really about crafting a clear, compelling vision for your life that aligns with your true self. Because a lot of times, their vision that you could be having now, even if you, because here's the thing, right? If you are a person who creates vision boards or writing your vision, I'm going to tell you right now, it is essential and important for you to do that, not just for you, but for your legacy of your children, your legacy of your family, because I know not everyone has children, okay? It's important, but you want a vision that aligns with you, not a vision that aligns with your parents, not a vision that aligns with your kids. Like I know so many parents that do this, right? They put all their hoping and wishing and faith of all the things they should do, and they're like, "Oh, my child is going to do it," and then they become this overbearing parent who wants to live their lives vicarious through their children. No, ma'am, no, sir. That's not it either. What about the vision for yourself? What about your dreams that aligns with who you really are? That thing you love to do. I have a girlfriend who loves to take photographs, right? And didn't even realize that that's something that she can do. Whether you decide to make a business out of it or a hobby, it doesn't matter, right? If you don't know, explore. Like, I don't know if I told you guys, but I wouldn't play golf. My forearm, I'm going to tell you something about golf. Or it's still killing me. I'm gonna, go take pickleball lessons. Right? Why am I doing this? Because I'm exploring new things and new adventures, things that could make me happy. And it's important for you to do so. And I have 5 living children. I have 2 grandchildren, and I do, when let me just keep this a buck when they're speaking to me, because they're gonna do what they do, okay? Uh, because I'm not a perfect parent, and they're not perfect people either, right? And they get to work through that and by themselves, and we get to work through it together, however that looks. And with all that being said, I still do for all of them, but I also make sure that I take my time out for my peace for me. And that's what you get to do as well. And so when you have a vision, you have a direction, you have purpose, you have a roadmap to follow. It empowers you. When I always teach women, like, listen, I have a new client, man, and let me tell you something. When she realized that she started to work on herself, she's taking her power back, and just how that feels is so beautiful when you step into that. But that's what making a vision and building compelling vision does for yourself. It helps you take your power back. It helps you step into you. It helps you take massive action. And you guys hear me talk about my SASS roadmap, right? Which is set your vision, articulate clear goals, strategize for massive action, and stay accountable and adjust. Yes, it's my last name. Yes, I do things like that. Call it corny if you will. But here's the thing, it works. Absolutely. When you just take the time out, what could it look like for you to say, you know what? I'm just going to set 30 minutes aside and write a vision for what I want to experience in my life, how I want my career to be, how I want my hobbies to be, how I want my love to be, how I want my joy to be, how I want to set myself up for when life is life. And because here's the thing, I'm not all about false positivity. I realize that life is going to life and things are going to happen. And if you have a vision, you can set up a plan. What do I do when life is life? What do I do when life is life? And when life is life, and for me, that's when I meditate more. When life is life, and for me, that's when I sit on the deck and I get quiet more. When life is life, and for me, instead of being stuck in the emotion of feeling sad and not knowing what to do, I make sure I make an appointment with my therapist. When life is life, and with me and my business isn't going well, I hire me a new coach to help me come up with strategies and ways to help to build my business. What do you do? But when you don't have a vision set up, when you stop dreaming, when you pour yourself into just work, 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 when you consistently grind. I used to work 3 jobs before, so I trust and believe when I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to you from a place of theory. I'm talking to you a place of been there, done that, and wrote a book. So you don't have to. And I get it. In the middle of the picture frame, it feels hard, it feels heavy. And this is why I'm saying you have to set your system up of success and getting people around you that's going to help you when that happens. Community, get into a community of like minded people. And this is why I pay for a coach and a therapist so as to not always dump on my friends. And I get it. A part of friendship is reciprocation and we share things. That's true. And there are some things you absolutely need a therapist for. Let me help you today. Your friend is not your therapist. And it's not even fair to them. It's not even fair to them. If you are going on and on about the same thing more than 4 times, you need to go get help outside of your friendship. That's if you really want help. Because I also find that some people don't want help, they just want to hear themselves talk. And that's annoying for your friends too. Let me just say that. Okay, let me just say that, right? But I also know that many of you are feeling like, you're doing your best and nothing seems to work out. You might be feeling like, yo, I'm lost, I'm exhausted, I don't feel fulfilled, I'm just anxious all over the place. I'm gonna tell you something. You're not alone, man. And there absolutely is a way out. The question is, what are you willing to sacrifice for that? And what do I mean by that? You may have to sacrifice some time. You may have to, get a be on a strict budget for a while. If you're a person working 2 jobs to make ends meet and you need a break, you may have to figure out, how can I set my budget to live beneath my means so that I can walk this out. But I'm gonna tell you right now that, and I apologize, it's so early in the morning. But by embracing, self love and creating your vision, it's gonna be the first step. It really is. And it's going to help you break free from this cycle of stress and guilt, even guilt of not being able to be there, for your children or for your spouse the way you want to be because you're so burdened down by life. You're so burdened down by life. You don't trust anybody. And this is why I'm telling you, as someone who was there, that getting this system around you, and they have lots of free resources. So I want to hear about this money thing. They actually, you can actually call a therapist. I know some of them do sliding scales, some do pro bono work. You just have to do the work to figure that out. But it's absolutely there. And you can rediscover your true self and build a healthy relationship, not just with yourself, but with others. Because when you lack boundaries and you're saying yes all over the place when you want to say no, and you're just running yourself through the ground, guess what? That's how you end up in these toxic relationships that you hear everyone talking about. But you can change that. You can change that if you want to. You can change it if you stop blaming everybody else. It's not your kid's fault. It's not your spouse's fault. It's not your parents' fault. It's on you. Every single time you meet me and see me, you will hear me say that it's not your fault what happened to you when you were younger, but it's your absolute responsibility to work on yourself and build yourself and to change you. You can't change anybody else. If you are coming across people and you feel a deep angst to want to correct them, to change them, to tell them about themselves, I'm going to tell you that's your pain point and you need to go and work on you. Yep, I said it. A lot of these people run around here, especially with this cancel culture right now, running around here, wanting to tear everybody else down. Everybody else. Everybody has it. Listen, let me tell you something about opinions. Everybody has them. Doesn't make them right, or it doesn't make your opinion right. It's your opinion. And now, something that's true. Why does it always have to be said, and why do you have to be the one to always say it? That's a question. Why? That's something deep rooted in you. And I'm not saying that your opinion doesn't matter. I'm not saying your voice doesn't matter because I absolutely believe that. And I also believe that if you're a person that's tearing other people down, if you're a person that's spreading negativity, because all these think pieces about other people, there's something going on with you. If you're a person that needs to watch the negative things all the time, you're not working on your spirit, you're not working on your heart, you're not building a relationship with your God, something's going on with you. And today is the day that you get to address it. Because if you want to live a life full of joy, peace, and purpose, It starts with you. 1000% you, no one else. Okay. So we're going to get into some practical steps and we're going to kickstart this thing off together. We're going to get back to our foundation of it all. And so the very first thing I'm going to always ask is, and I'm not here, let me put this disclaimer, I'm not here to tell you who do you believe in, who you should believe in, or any of that, right? I am here to tell you that a spiritual foundation is going to carry you through for the rest of this year. Building a relationship with whoever your God is, who you choose to believe in, is going to be the foundation that carries you through this year. Things are always going to get worse before they get better, and we are in an election year. That means you're going to see people that you love and you care about argue all over social media about their views. They're going to be, who should, Trump this, Biden that. You're going to hear it all. It's going to be a bunch of bickering, arguing because people have lost the art of communication and they don't know how to do that anymore. And so when it feels heavy for you, I want you to unplug from social media and I want you to plug into your spirit. And that means, whatever that means reading the Bible, the Quran, whatever it is that you believe in. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you that that's the thing that's going to help carry you through. When you get tired and you're stressed out and you're burnt out and you're not feeling worthy of love and you don't feel like you deserve love, because that's what's really going on with a lot of these people, and that may be absolutely going on with you, you have to start to say, but who does God say I am? He said, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. He told me that all things are possible to him that believe. It's like I am. He told me about the great. Don't get me started here, right? I am worthy. I am lovable, right? I deserve grace, but I also know I have to give it to me. I built my foundation, okay, and of keeping God first. And this is not about preaching. This is about opening you up to the things that's going to help you in the midst of it all. Okay, so you don't feel like you also have to isolate, because I understand there's some people who won't burden anybody and they won't talk to anybody that is around them. And believe me, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that it's, don't dump on your friends, and it's okay to have healthy conversation as well. All right. And how do I know that I'm dumping? It's when you call with the full intention of and you just go for 5 to 10 straight minutes, haven't talked, haven't asked them how they were doing, any of that. And it's the same problem. It's the same thing. Now you're on your third time talking about the same thing and you haven't done one thing different. Okay. Let's not do that. All right. So first thing first, spiritual foundation. Next, we have to work on our mindset. And I love it. Listen, I am an affirmation girl. I love it. And here's the thing, I'm an affirmation girl who also looks in the mirror and reaffirms herself. And so what that looks like is, I don't just say that I am worthy, I am powerful, I am enough. I say you are worthy, you are powerful, you are enough. It's the great I am and the great you are. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that because so many of people are on social media and out here looking for someone else to affirm them. That's why they go so far with the attention seeking, all the things they're doing. But when you learn how to reaffirm yourself, what you're doing is you're addressing two parts of yourself. You're addressing your adult self and your inner child. Those are the two things. The I am is your adult self. The you are is your inner child. You're reaffirming because a lot of times it's your inner child that's running your life. Oh yeah, think about it. You'll get into something, and all of a sudden that 16-year-old you will show up and show out. All of a sudden that person who was hurt and or touched, because so many of us experience sexual trauma as young children, that were touched or abused, that's the person who show up. So now you're fighting your children because you couldn't fight for yourself when you were younger. You're fighting your spouse because you couldn't fight for yourself when you were younger. You're fighting everybody that's trying to help you, and because you're fighting your younger self. So when you do this affirmation and reaffirming work, it helps you to affirm your inner child as you grow into develop to become the best version of yourself and heal that trauma and past pains that happen in your life. Okay, so how do I do it? You stand in the mirror, and in the mirror, and you start to tell yourself who you really are. I am a great mother. I am a great girlfriend or boyfriend. I am a great father. And you follow it up, and you are a great mother. You are a great father. You are a great spouse. I am a millionaire. You are a millionaire. I am a best-selling author. You are a best-selling author. How about I am an author? You're not writing a book. I am an author. You are an author. See how that sounds? It's so different. And that daily practice is really going to help you rewire your brain. Listen, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to doing it for a week, and a week is 7 days straight. Just taking 5 affirmations. You don't have to do a bunch. Whatever is, whatever you're not really feeling with yourself, because sometimes we have to speak that stuff into it. So if you don't feel that you're worthy, if you don't feel that you're loved, if you don't feel like you're a great mom, I need you to tell yourself that and reaffirm yourself. Pick 5 and say it every single day and tell me how you feel at the end of the week. That's my first challenge to you. Next, create vision. Oh my God, I want you to sit. You could do it at night when everybody else is asleep. I know you're tired, but it's also great to do it before you go to bed. And visualize what you really want your life to look like. What are your goals? What's your dreams? How do you want to feel? Because it's so important to bring the emotion in it. Because emotions run our lives. We don't want to be honest about that, and I'm not going to go there today, but they do. Okay. And so, how do you feel? How do you want to feel when you get up in the morning? And I want you to understand something about vision. It's not just about a year, 5 and 10 years from now. Write a vision what you want a week from now to look like. Because I get it. Some people are like, oh, it's too much. Listen, vision as I speak is 10 minutes from now. It's 30 minutes from now. It's an hour from now. It's not just a year from now, right? So listen, if you don't want to go that far out, shorten it up. It's okay to do short. What do you want the next week to look like? How do you want to feel? What does that look like? What are you doing? Who are you talking to? You can absolutely do that, right? But you have to get still and get quiet enough. And then after you visualize it, I want you to write it all down. And after you write it down, go to sleep. You may dream a bigger dream. You get up in the morning and look at it again, right? As you do a morning meditation. Did you hear what I just said? As you do a morning meditation. What am I telling you? Do a morning meditation. Okay. So first, right, we got our affirmation. Second, create our vision. And oh man, this one, the power hour. All right, so I already started. The power hour is the first hour of your day, and this may mean that you have to get up an hour early. During that first hour, you don't have. It doesn't have to be long. You can do 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of journaling. Set the alarm on your phone. Okay, 5 minutes. When that 5 minutes is up, it's up. They have 5 minute meditations on YouTube that is free. The guided meditation, 5 minutes. 5 minutes of journaling after the meditation. Go work out for 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. It's not a long time, 20 to 30 minutes. Okay. So if you say you did a 20-minute workout, that's 10 minutes that's 30 minutes. Okay. The next you can spend after your workout, or you can do it sometimes. You can habit stack doing you can listen to a book. But 5 to 10 minutes of reading, 10 minutes is ideal, right? So if you had 20-minute exercise, 5 minute meditation, 5 minute journaling, 10 minutes of reading, right? That's what? 10, 20, that's 40 minutes. Then you shower. And in that shower, I don't care who it is that you believe in, but I want you then to get in that shower and give thanks. Yeah, you can do a 10-minute shower. You can do it. Okay. And while you're just thank you. And this is how I do it. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for a beautiful day. Thank you for allowing me to see another day. Thank you for watching over my family. Thank you for keeping me. Lord, thank you for letting this day be filled with joy and love. Thank you for allowing those people who don't mean me any good to not come around me. You see what I'm saying? So as you're in the shower, you're doing that. And you want to you want to be thankful for the shower. Be thankful for your home. You can find the little things. People find it really hard to get grateful, and I don't understand that. Be grateful that you woke up. Be grateful that you have vision, because there's some people who don't. Be thankful that you can hear, because some people are deaf. It's easy. Be thankful that you can walk, because some people can't. Be thankful that you can raise your arms, because some people can't. Frozen shoulder is a real thing, y'all. So I'm not as deep as someone with a disability. Ian, guess what? We're getting older. Thank the Lord that your back is still working. Thank the Lord your knees are still going right. So that first hour of the day, that so what am I what is that? Committing to love. I love myself enough to let the first hour of my day be solely about me. See that? So that's the power hour. Okay. And so within the power hour, you have the gratitude practice. I'm going to tell you right now, gratitude, I say it all the time, will take you further than any money can. So if you can do it in the shower in the morning, and if you're a person who takes showers at night too, 2 showers a day, do it in the shower at night. If you don't take a shower at night, try to write 3 things down that you were grateful for the day. Just three, just three. And just say thank you. Thank you that my kids have lived another day. As a mother who has buried 2 sons, be grateful. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for your friends. Be grateful for the sun. Be grateful for the rain. Be grateful. Okay? And so I want you to also, when you write the vision, I want you to write down some things that you absolutely love. Why is this important? Because remember when I told you when life is lifing, right? We need to know our fallback things, okay? So whether that is a bubble bath, people forget Calgon really took us away. I'm telling my age with that, right? Going for a walk. Instead of when you're going through something in your home and maybe, it's something heavy with the kids or something heavy with your spouse, and why not say, you know what? Let's take a minute and go and you go for a walk or go for a drive. I love driving. Driving is my thing, right? Or find a new hobby that you love. You have to have a hobby outside of your children and your spouse or your significant other if you're not married. You have to have a hobby. Okay? So what is it? And if you don't know, go explore. This world is so vast. We have so many things. Go explore. Do anything but toggling on social media all day, okay? Find something that brings you joy. All right. So we started off, these are some practical things that anybody can do to set our foundation. And the first thing is first, build a spiritual foundation, right? Second thing that we talked about was working on your affirmation and reaffirm. Next, build your vision. The power hour. Love yourself enough to make that first hour about you. That may mean you have to get up an hour earlier, and guess what? You can do it. How do I know this? Because I used to be a person that I would always say for years, I'm not a morning person. And so when I do these things with myself, when I get tired, I want to see like, okay, can I really change myself? So I actually built myself to become a morning person. I remember I would make myself get up every day between 4 and 4:30 a.m. Oh my God. And I did that for about a year. And then it changed. And then instead of being in the gym all night, I would go to the 5 a.m. class, right? So it was these little things to switch up with myself, right? So that I wouldn't get stuck and stagnant as well, right? So again, that power hour is going to be critical. And I'm telling you what, once you've done that for the day, you have your whole day. It's I promise you. And then the shower gratitude, game changer. So writing those things down is going to be the very things that's going to help you when life is life. And then, so the next thing I want you to do is get you a buddy or an accountability partner. Why? Have them hold you accountable to celebrate yourself. Because you know what? We don't. And then here's the thing, I want you guys to build a celebratory buddy system that if you took on the challenge of doing the affirmations and the reaffirming for 7 days, I want you to get with your buddy and celebrate that, right? Celebrate each other. Tell each other how proud you are of each other. Let them know you love. It's okay to tell your friends that you love them. As a matter of fact, you want to do that every time you talk to them. I do it. I love you. I'm so proud of you, right? You don't know how far, and not from a false place, but if they did something great, and people just don't understand, like those small things are great things. They really are. They did something great, like did a challenge for 7 days. That's wonderful. So celebrate that, right? Hold each other accountable too. If they didn't get to the whole 7 days, be like, listen, I love you, and you can do this. You can do 7 days. Okay, because if we can do seven, if we can go party. Okay, we can do 7 days of social media. You can do 7 days of affirmations and reaffirms. Okay, all right. Eric, and last but certainly not least, say no. And no is a full sentence. It's an absolute full sentence. You get to say no. Say no. Say no without guilt. And it's hard in the beginning. I get that. Trust me, I get it. It's hard in the beginning. And it's imperative. because you're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. You don't even know it. You're shaving off years of your life by consistently saying yes when you want to say no. Now, I'm not talking to those people who always say no, who doesn't do anything for anybody, that's just crazy selfish. That's not who I'm talking to. And you know who you are. So don't play. Don't be like, oh, well, this is why I don't do for people. No, you don't because you're mean. Okay. And you don't like yourself. That's a whole other person. Okay. No, I'm talking about my people pleasers. My ones who just love doing for everybody else because it's so easy, but it's so hard for them to do for themselves. Yeah, I need you to say no. And guess what? Your kids are not gonna, they're not really gonna, die if you tell them no. Okay. You can say no to them, right? Especially if it's at the expense of you, you have to stop betraying yourself to take care of everyone else. Right? Even your husband, even your wife. You need a minute, and that's okay. You need a minute, and that's okay. You're my best friend, which my spouse should be, which my partner should be. Then my best friend should understand I just need a minute for me. And it doesn't mean that I don't love you. It means I need to love me. I'm going to say it again. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It means I need to love me. And when I love me, and when you do this work, what's going to happen is when you start to love yourself more, you're going to become a better mother than you already are, a better father, a better spouse, a better friend, a better son or daughter to your God. It only makes you better. And isn't that what we're here for? To become the best version of ourselves? Well, the way to get there is by loving yourself. Okay. And so it's the foundation of a happy, fulfilled life. It just is. And you deserve it. You deserve to live the life of your dreams. And no dream is too big. They may be some of them be a little small, but none too big. And you deserve to become the best version of yourself. So lean in. Lean in. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't allow these people and social media to make you feel bad or guilt you into anything. You deserve, yes, you who are watching this, deserve. I want to encourage you. You deserve to live a life that makes you happy. You deserve it. And don't listen to the naysayers because a lot of them naysayers are just straight haters because they don't have what they want. Okay. I love you for listening. Again, if you want to reach out to me, leave me a comment. Let me know if you did the challenge. Leave me a comment on YouTube or wherever you see this at, or any of my social media channels. Remember, I am the coach that if you have a question, email me info@mosass. If you don't feel comfortable putting it underneath my YouTube video, I will respond always, always, always with any questions that you have. I absolutely love you and adore you and hope you have the most amazing Sunday. And I will talk